District. Let the record reflect the meeting starts at 6:31. Trustees present: Leach, Jones, Raschke, Schrader, Woodcock, White, Perlmeyer. Let me see, we get back to the agenda. You just have enough time to get that stuff memorized. All of a sudden go off script. We talked about that. The trustees are absent tonight. We are recording, right? I see that.
Yes.
At this time it's time for public comment. Anybody from the public like to comment? Once, twice? Okay, we'll move on. Has everyone had a chance to review the December 8th regular meeting minutes?
Yes.
Are there any additions or corrections to the minutes?
No.
Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve.
Make a motion to approve minutes.
Second.
Motion by trustee Raschke, second by trustee Jones. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The record reflect the motion passes unanimously. Michael?
All right, good evening. So, got our December financial statements there from you on the balance sheet side. First thing to go over is the reconciled balances in the accounts at the end of December, with $61,108 in the Regions account, and then $806,067 in the prime account at the end of December as well.
Mine says 808,097.98. Is that correct?
808, yeah, I'm sorry. It's my vision.
Your vision and mine are about the same, right?
On the income statement side, we do have money. We've got a bulk of our assessments that came in December. As I mentioned, we usually have this happen each December, where all of our assessments that were collected back in the month of November get dispersed out to the taxing district. So for interest income, we'll start with that on the top line of the revenues, $2,543 in the month of December. That'll probably go up now each month as we've gotten the bulk of the assessments in, which were $627,000 on that second line right below it for special assessments. Under the expenditures, there's a few things I want to point out to the board. The first one is the first line item, 3031.00 for attorney's fees. We did have a little bit in December, but the annual amount, which is the fourth column, the year-to-date figure, is $16,342. So we are only about $8,000 left of what the annual budget is for attorney's fees. A little further on down the line, another expenditure to point out, 3046.23, which is landscape repairs. Replacements, we had $12,776 in the month of December. That really doesn't bring our total up very much. So for the first 3 months of the fiscal year, which is as of December, $13,208, which is in the fourth column. Something else to point out, community enhancement, 3046.26. We had $15,210 in the month of December. That was basically Christmas decorations, poinsettias, I think, actually. And then the last one is sign repairs, 3046.60 for sign repairs. Not a very large amount in December, $3,150. But that does bring up our total in the fourth column to $3,630, which is a little bit over what our annual budget amount is. So, as I usually mention, if we want to, we can allocate some of the money within that account if we want to show a larger annual budget, but otherwise it kind of gets all totaled up together to that 3046 account that we have for the budget. Anyway, those are the items I wanted to point out to the board, unless y'all have any questions on anything else.
You know, Michael, why don't we just, unless the board objects, why don't we roll the difference out of 3047 general repairs? How about that?
Yeah, that's a larger budget on there, it's $60,000. How much you want to move from one to the other?
I'm guessing that variance is due to that repair job you did, right?
Yeah, I don't think this was Christmas decorations.
No.
Sign repairs.
Well, the Glenhaven thing, that's still outstanding. Why don't we move 10 for now?
Okay. So leave 50 in repairs general and move that to 13 for sign repairs.
Yeah. Is there any objections before we do that?
No.
Okay.
Okay. Questions for Michael? It's nice to see the funds come in.
Yes.
I mean, actually,
Reassuring.
yeah.
All
Thank you, Michael.
Thank you.
Is there a motion to approve the financial report?
I'll make a motion to approve financial reports.
Motion by trustee Woodcock, seconded by trustee Schrader. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Let the record reflect the motion passes unanimously. I don't have a whole lot to talk about this evening. I think we're going to get to these things later in our meeting. The high items for me right now, the lending the wall. There's an issue with Bloomingdale Code we're going to talk about. I guess one highlight, the annual audit is completed and published, so that's behind us for 2025. And then the September 11th, I don't have anything specific beyond those highlighted items. Questions for me right now? Okay. Let's move to the property manager. Brianna?
All right, I also don't have too much.
We need this, please.
Yes.
You still pick up that.
So just Bloomingdale wall is complete. There is a column on Nature's Way behind Buckner Road where the column is leaning pretty heavily. The repairs have already been approved and Patrick and we will be working on that. Bloomingdale Cove, we had an email sent in saying that there's a wall separation in the mortar. And they're wondering who's responsible for the repair.
They are. We'll pressure wash it, we'll clean it, but they'll have to fix it.
Okay. I reached out to a couple of companies for the pressure washing, and Integrity responded that it would be $500 for all 4 months. And the other company has not responded yet.
Okay.
I just asked today.
500 seems reasonable to me.
Yeah.
That's for what? What's
The monument.
Pressure wash.
So where their signs are, like across from yours, like on the.
Okay.
Because after they got the tree trimming done, it was
Okay.
in a little green and black.
Yep.
So that's it for walls, nothing on signs. The Aaron Arbor entrance, I'm sure Keith will also go over that, but the shrubs have been refreshed over there. And then I also talked to Keith today about the soil testing that we talked about at last meeting, and he said that it'll start at $25 and could go to $100 depending on what kind of testing they recommend. So,
Which is negligible compared to having the plant stuff twice, right?
Yeah.
Have we, and this is going to go back a few years, have we ever completed a soil test over there across from Springvale to Bel Grande, that area?
I don't believe so. Not that I can recall.
I ran into someone a couple of weeks ago that asked me about, I guess there's still problems with vegetation dying, landscaping material dying. We're not doing well.
What area was this again?
Around Bel Grande in Springvale. I think,
Is that where we removed a palm tree
yeah,
not too long ago?
yeah.
Okay. By the well.
Now, it may be an irrigation issue as well.
irrigation check?
So I guess the question is irrigation, soil, both. Because, well, for those of you that don't remember, we poured a shitload of money into that area about 10 years ago, and nothing ever came from it. Buccaneer initially said they thought it was the soil, but despite discussing that, they never tested it.
Okay.
That they did, we never got the results. We never paid for testing, so I don't think they ever did.
I think if you do the irrigation check and the soil test, that way you have an answer for both.
Well, that's kind of where I was going, yeah.
Okay.
So would we like to do the soil testing over here as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
So on Bel Grande, and where was the other one?
Right here at Aaron Arbor, where we just
Aaron
put in
Arbor, where we
those
just put the-
new shrubs, yeah. But that is it for me. Anything?
I don't think so.
Okay.
No, I had a question. What was it? I was driving around the other day. So what did I see? It wasn't anything major, it was just it was a question I wanted to remember to ask you. It'll come back to me,
Okay.
but it wasn't.
All right.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thanks, Brandon. Ricardo, if you can put away your Bears games over there long enough.
I have two things for you. One is just now got, you probably saw him deliver it, the easement for Glenhaven.
Did we?
Yes.
Okay, well, that's great.
So it needs to be signed by you and notarized and all, and then you can send it to the attorney who will record it.
Okay.
So I'm gonna leave that here. He's got it scheduled for, we're about 3 weeks out, he's waiting on Tico. Tico has to shut down the power to be able to move all the power out of what's there around and reinstall on the side as we had originally discussed. So you're looking at 3 or 4 weeks for the start on that wall.
Well, that'll give Patrick some time to get the Christmas lights out of there too.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Should already be out.
And then,
I haven't been out there, I haven't been out there, I haven't noticed.
They were out yesterday, I don't know. I think it all over the subdivision. I don't know.
They're gone?
I think so.
Okay, well, that's good, well, good. It wasted me time.
How did we determine we were going to mask like all those boxes and stuff? Do we have a way?
mask?
Well, I mean, just, do we have a way to, so it's not so?
We're gonna move them.
Oh, we're moving them around. I'm the Glenhaven, I'm the Glenhaven wall, so they won't be in the front area where the signage is.
There's like a little notch here.
Oh, tucking them away, that's right. I
Yeah.
remember we talked about that. Okay, thanks.
That'd be
That's
pretty
a little
nice.
bit. Yeah, that would be great.
So about the time of your next meeting, they should be getting started on that wall. They've got the permit now, so they're ready to roll, they're just waiting on Tico. And then once Tico gets that done, then they'll get it scheduled as soon as they can, so.
Is Patrick taking care of the signage, or do we have to?
Patrick is,
He is, okay, so he'll do all that, and then he'll let us know, and we'll see that new sign go up.
yeah,
Beautiful.
yeah, and it's less expensive than the sign company that we had originally spoken with.
Beautiful.
So save you a little money.
It's nice when a repair is also an improvement.
The what?
It's nice when a repair is also an improvement.
Yeah.
This would be a really nice
Yeah.
upgrade there.
And in reference to the flag monument, I've got about 5 different companies who I've been in contact with and have been back, and they're asking some questions that I talked to Tom, or we texted back and forth the other day. I need to get a set of specifications created because they're all wanting something in writing. But I have found out, and Randy, after our conversation, we can do those towers in concrete,
Okay, great.
which Randy and I went out and kind of looked at it, and we're kind of trying to determine where everything was gonna go and how we were gonna do this, because, you know, all we got is a design. I mean, there's nothing there structurally or anything. So we were talking about maybe doing the towers in concrete rather than, I think the cost of doing those in stone would be enormous, right?
Can we graffiti proof that?
We can probably put some kind of a coating on it that would make it, I don't think there's any such thing as graffiti proof,
Yeah, but
but.
call me crazy, I sense an opportunity for someone to express themselves.
So I'm sure. But, you know, being concrete too is easy to clean and repaint if need be.
Okay.
So that's concrete. I'm talking to a woman about the dog, and that was kind of one of the things I wanted to get a feel for from you tonight. Because the towers, we're looking at 6 to 8 feet is what Randy and I talked about, right? Because we can't go too much higher because of the wall and the people that live back there, right? Everything's gonna be uplit, so there won't be lighting problems with the neighbors, all right? But if we're doing a 6 to 8 foot tower above grade, right? Do you want a full-size dog, or what's your thoughts on that?
Can they just do it to scale?
Well,
Is there a scale to it?
Well,
Well, if you do it to scale with those towers,
It'd be
it'll be about
about-
this big.
yeah,
Oh, the dog would be.
Yeah.
But you mean with the concept?
I mean, with the concept
Yeah.
of what they
And I
did.
think that is about an actual size dog would be what I was kind of envisioning.
So I've got two people that I'm actually talking to about that. And what I told them was, I just learned this myself recently, but apparently there were a half dozen different dogs that are kind of like 9/11 dogs, that participated either in bringing people with vision problems out of the buildings, or were there and trying to find survivors. And there's one or two, and I can't remember the dogs' names, but that were kind of thought of as the 9/11 dogs. And this woman has made some replicas of these particular animals. So now that I know that we're gonna go with a full-size dog, I'm gonna be working with her to see what kind of pricing we can get to get that. And that'll probably be done in a metal, not in concrete.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because the same people that will spray paint the towers will chop the nose off the dog.
Yeah.
I mean, you can just see it coming.
And then the base, Randy and I kind of laid it out where we think it should go. And our thought was that we're going to do that base in the Pentagon shape as you all wanted, but we'll do that in concrete. And then maybe do a tile or something on it to kind of lay out the colors and things, which will keep it durable and structurally sound and reasonably priced. So I don't have pricing yet, and I know that's something you're all gonna want. But now that I've got some of these questions answered, then by next month I'll certainly have pricing.
I appreciate that, and I want to apologize too for contributing to that delay. But I will say the space we have affords a lot of flexibility, which is really nice. In terms of, I think we can retain most of the paver area without even like having a monument at the edge of it, so to speak, so that it really, the walk-through functionality and stuff is still good. And the fact that we can get it done with concrete, I think gives us a lot more flexibility, not only price-wise, but obviously in terms of timeline.
Yeah,
So.
yeah.
Let's talk about that for a minute. The goal is to have this ready to go by Labor Day. We have to determine the material, which I think the metal that the dog is made out of, we got to figure that one out. And I won't even guess it as to what's available or what it would cost. So we've got to determine materials, we've got to determine the price of those things, we have to fabricate. And I guess the concrete's probably not that difficult. How long does it take to make a metal dog?
That's the one thing that is going to be probably the most time consuming is the dog. Is if we're doing the towers in concrete, and it's not easy, but I mean, that's not a time consuming process. They're going to, build a mold and they're going to pour them and then they'll install it. The base and the Pentagon, that's it. It's the concrete forming. That's not a big deal. So it's really come down to the dog when it comes to time questions, which I don't think is going to be a problem. But we had also talked about doing a plaque or something on the side out of a bronze or something to say what's on there. So that's something, Randy, do you want to?
Yeah, that was for two reasons, really. Number one, it allows us to say more, right? Because we can, explain what's there and why. And then it also keeps us from having to incorporate some kind of message or something into the monument, so we can get started as quickly as possible with these components. And then, in the meantime, develop the message around the placard. So just do something in bronze, likely.
Well, I guess, going back to the dog for a second, we have two choices. One is there's a mold somewhere where they can pour it. So you got a molded dog. Or you start off with a hunk of something and somebody carves it like an artist. I suspect that's going to take longer and cost a lot more money than finding someone that will make us I happen to have a molded dog, and that's going to be complicated if we're trying to emulate one of the two you described a little while ago, trying to get that into a mold. In the end, I think if we get the breed Because it's not gonna, you're not gonna be able to get the color right, it's just gonna be whatever color the metal is. We get the breed right. And if we don't know what breed it is, we can always make it an Australian Shepherd because they're in their
It wasn't a Labrador
Is that, I
retriever.
think it's probably a golden retriever.
A golden
or
retriever,
or
a
Labrador,
And if you're not sure, we can make it an Australian Shepherd.
Or
because-
poodle.
And I agree, if she's already got some designs she's
Yeah,
already
she's
done,
got
that would be
property.
great if we can, you know, I don't think we have to have the
Yeah.
original necessarily. The image we had for the design we chose had it kind of looking up at the tower and in the background is a flag on that design, but there are flags over in the other area. Others had a dog kind of, you know, sort of grieving the loss of a firefighter or something like that. So I think having a service dog like that, we can work with probably.
Yeah,
Something that's not exactly right.
you'd be surprised, there's a lot of these out there already, you know, where people have done monuments and things like this and memorials, where they've done dogs, specifically 9/11 dogs. So, you know, we might be able to have a couple of different options to look at your next meeting and then be able to make a decision both on material as well as, you know, how the dog is posed.
My yellow lab has volunteered if there's an endless supply of peanut butter balls.
Is there, was there a helmet too? Are we still doing the
There
helmet?
was,
Are we not?
we'll look at that. I think the most important thing is the towers,
The towers.
then the dog.
Towers.
And, I mean, honestly, if we had some complications, we could dedicate the towers
Mhm.
as a monument, but I don't think we will. I think the dog.
Was there a helmet in that picture?
There was, we had
No,
just
we had taken it
requested.
from another one.
Yeah, and that was a different
We're gonna
pose with the
incorporate
dog,
it.
but I asked about that, we had talked about that, as well as, you know, incorporating the Pentagon base and stuff like that, so.
And we had at one time talked about putting words on the edge of the base, the Pentagon base,
Yeah,
if we
yeah,
wanted.
and that is still
That's
planned.
still
Of course, we're gonna spell everything correctly, but,
The tile would give us some flexibility on that, but I'm not sure, I mean, it may be that we just put the words on the
Just keep it
placard
simple,
too,
yeah.
yeah, exactly. Just, it gives us the ability to compartmentalize a few of these things, right? Because, you know, we'll have to decide what we want to write and, you know, acknowledge the board and the reasons behind it and all that stuff.
Let's
So
go-
the dog would be bronze,
It could be.
or it could be.
I guess let's go back, because the two most important things here are cost and time. And of the two, the cost is more important, because if it's some outrageous amount we can't afford, we can't afford it. It's better to know the cost up front, and if we can make adjustments to bring it back into the realm of possibility, we can do that. And then there's the time, to get it all fabricated, to get it installed, make sure there aren't any issues and all that. When can we
I don't think we're going to, and I remember, I'm the one that was pushing that, saying, you know, this is the time we're gonna have problems here, because we were talking about doing things in stone, and that was gonna be a big difference. I think coming up with the way we're looking at doing it now, which is mostly concrete, the only thing that's not concrete really is the dog and the tile or whatever we put on top of the Pentagon. So I think we're gonna be okay. We should not have any problem, especially since these dogs have been made all over the country already. So this isn't like someone having to come out with an original, you know. I think we'll be fine, and I don't think there's any problem having pricing for you in February.
Beautiful. And
So
then,
who's actually going to do the final design?
Well, that's pretty much based on what Joel gave me is the final design.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
so
if
we're
we're
gonna
gonna
have
change it, you
cost.
can change it,
If
but.
we're gonna have cost next month, that implies that we've got a product, which implies that we've got the specs. So that's gonna have to come about very quickly if we're gonna do all that.
Yeah.
And then separately, and we have time to do this, more time than we do better, is, you know, what kind of, if any, elaborate little dedication we want to have, how big, small it's going to be. You know, I was thinking about this, it's on that corner, I mean, there's no parking. There's no park, I mean, you can park down Culbreth, you really can't, I guess you can park Nature's Way, but you really can't.
What you mean now?
Yeah,
Maybe do
we-
it enough
if
time.
you're gonna make a big deal out of it, we
Shuttle
can walk to the
walk.
golf course and get a bus or something and bring people over. I guess we'll have to start putting.
Well, you got that road along into Chimino too.
That whole,
Yeah.
you can put like 50 cars in that
Yeah.
side of it, if you had to, you can walk from
As
there.
long as we do it after the school day starts and before.
Yeah.
those-
Or on a
On a
weekend.
Saturday morning.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
we gotta leave those uniform back on and,
Just skills.
Well, yeah, if you do it on a Saturday, that takes care of that. Okay. What else?
That's all I got.
Any questions for Rick or Randy related to the monument?
If you think of anything else, just let us know, just text or send us an email. Yes, I think we can incorporate some,
I just found one website that's got at least 100 different breeds for sale.
Yeah.
It'd be nice if we
It's-
could
and-
purchase a free.
A statue, not a
Prefabricate from
rock
fabricate
dog.
one.
Hell, white dogs are easy, we just,
just tie them up.
no, you make them all.
Okay. Thanks, Rick. Let's go to committee reports.
Nothing to report,
Budget,
nothing to report,
contracts.
nothing to report,
I believe this summer,
yes.
so we need to be able to talk about that before budget season comes along. Probably next month in March.
Okay.
And then we're gonna have to go through the process too. All right. Tax roll, yes.
Don't forget, you've got Keith.
Oh, you know what, thank you. He did not pop up on
I
the agenda.
know.
He's
The office
easy to
manager
forget.
neglected to put him on the agenda.
Let's roll back the clock for a second. Keith from your green team is here.
Yes, sir.
As it, I haven't seen you for a while.
All right, as of this week, we're gonna be changing out the poinsettias. We've started on it today, so we should be finished with it at the end of the week. Arundel planting on the entranceways, that's been completed. And then also had Trevor, our irrigation technician, following behind the guys that are repairing the sidewalks, because they're breaking a lot of irrigation.
No.
They're fixing, he's bird dogging them, so they're fixing it. And he's running it as they're fixing it to make sure that it's repaired right.
Beautiful. And they're doing it, we're making sure they see it and they're fixing it?
Yes.
Beautiful.
Trevor said, Trevor talked to him, and he's like, if we have to fix it, it's gonna be very expensive for you guys. He said the next couple of days, the guy had like 3 or 4 more guys out there with him tearing it.
Well, it's nice to see that they learned from, what was it, what did they do this last, like 6 years ago? Yeah, it's nice to see they learned.
So Trevor's been bird dogging, which is good.
Excellent. Excellent.
And that's pretty much all I have right now.
What are you gonna do with the poinsettias? Just toss them?
Yeah. I mean, if residents want to go ahead and snatch out, they're more than welcome to snatch out what they want as we're planting. But yeah, we're just snatching them out and throwing them.
Okay.
Ours were gone fast today. I caught them the last time. This morning they were there, this afternoon they weren't.
We still have
I missed
a
them.
poinsettia on the front. It's now, is it 3 years old or 2? In a pot. 3 years old, and it's got one section that's still green. And I keep thinking, I'm gonna put that in the ground. I saw somebody in the community
Yeah,
with
she's
a
got a
huge
whole bunch of
one.
them.
Yeah, we have one of our communities where they got one that's just growing wild and it's huge and it's pretty.
Because I think it would be great if you can do that. But I can't ever catch you all. I keep thinking, I'm gonna watch them and then see if I can just pick up a couple.
Well, if you want, I can have the guys put them aside and bring them to you.
Just tell me where they are. You don't need to deliver me. Just tell me where they are. I'll go get them.
Where
Where are they working tomorrow?
that, I'm not sure where they left off today. I didn't forget to tell me.
Okay.
Because they started right here on Arundel.
So they got all the way to us, all the way to the park at the end of Culbreth.
They made it that far, right?
Yeah.
So you got whatever's down Nature's Way.
Okay. Maybe I'll take a drive tomorrow and pick up a couple and just give it a try. It's just
But
not-
I mean, if not, I can have the guys put some aside and drop them off to your house or wherever you want.
I don't need special treatment, but If I knew where they are, I'll get
I'm gonna show up with a yellow flag or an orange flag to stop traffic.
Stop traffic.
That was,
another science experiment.
Yeah, there's
They
like
look really
a good
nice.
variety of them.
Yeah, they look really nice.
This is always a good planting too. Coming off the poinsettias, the first one of the year is always, you all do a good job.
Appreciate that.
I thought between the lights and the poinsettias, everything looked really beautiful over the holidays, and the banners for that
It
matter.
really did, the weather
In
was
fact,
really
I
good.
just, I'm just thinking to myself, we ought to maybe keep our trees wrapped all year. It looks so gorgeous, the white lights at some of the entrances. It really is
And
gorgeous.
then just cut them off. Instead of pounding.
You know,
Yeah, I think that's pretty.
Maybe the bigger
I
ones.
think that's pretty, those big ones at the main entrances.
Yeah.
we
Well,
could
you
do
can
that.
like the palms over by Rosemead, like just take the ornaments out.
That's what I
Or
thought.
the
Yeah, there's
snowflakes out
snowflakes.
and leave the
Yeah.
rest of it. It's gorgeous.
Why don't you ask Patrick about that, before he takes it all down, and ask him, because that is a nice idea.
Yeah, I think they're down, but maybe for next year.
Yeah.
You know, some Green Hollow now had to do the second tree in the first pavilion.
Mhm.
It's always doing the first.
Yeah.
Go around behind it, and it just look
Dark
dark.
gorgeous, yeah, it just really look nice.
So,
And it's more light too.
Yeah.
For safety and stuff.
Okay.
So you want me to drop some off to you or what?
Nah, I'm getting headway over there now.
She's got other projects.
The boss says no.
We've got company coming tonight.
Okay,
Good plan.
thanks. Any questions for Keith or for your read team in general? Let's move on to tax roll.
Nothing to report.
Holiday decor.
like I said, I think all the holiday decorations are down. Should be back in a couple weeks. Be back in a couple of weeks to put up the spring banner. So. that's all I have.
Landscaping and capital improvement. I think we've already talked about that. Keith covered what else needs to be covered. Security.
Just report that things are running pretty close to budget in terms of number of shifts, scheduling and so forth. The team that Deputy Buswell has in place right now has been together pretty consistently now. He's got 2 new deputies been working on it for the last few months. I think things are going good. Christine provided some feedback on an area of concern, and if any of you have hear something or observe something, just let me know. I'll be happy to pass it on as well.
Scooter nonsense.
The scooters, yeah.
Okay, thanks, Randy. Community relations.
Nothing.
We have no correspondence today. You know, one thing I want to highlight, there was an article in the Wall Street Journal, I want to say it was Friday. The Trump administration, I think, or the Trumpster himself, has discussed signing an executive order which would eliminate or it would control the number of homes in the community owned by a private investor.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And the 2 biggest ones, I don't remember the second one, Invitation Homes is one of them. They talk about how many they own. But it's funny, as soon as this was discussed in public, their stock dropped, like 10% or something each. I know Invitation Homes has several in Bloomingdale. I want to say the number it said nationwide was something like 86,000. It was less than I thought it would be. But, you know, I have mixed feelings about executive orders, government by executive order. However, that would be a nice change for this community if they were limited or had to turn them over. But anyway, if you hadn't seen that, I want to remind you that you look it up. You probably get a look at it on the internet, or if you subscribe to the journal.
Along the same lines, DeSantis administration has proposed property tax only on commercial or rental properties, so that primary homeowners would no longer be on the hook for property tax. And I guess that's going to be in November. We're going to be voting on that.
Well, it goes on the ballot, yeah.
So that would be very encouraging, getting to the same thing, encouraging actual homeownership versus corporate
Yeah,
ownership.
it was for people that qualify for homestead. If you get homestead, then you qualify for it. There was two proposals, one was for total elimination, the other one was for an additional, what do they call it, assessment decrease. Those were the two that were on last month, I think.
Creative solutions to increase homeownership.
But in Bloomingdale, according to one report I saw, 20% of homes are non-owner occupied.
Real 20.
Yeah. Well, you gotta remember a lot of things too. It's like, particularly with us in the military, you buy a home, you can move back in there, you leave, right? You still own that property, but you're not occupying it. That's what they're calling it. So it's not all commercial.
No, well, I know that you can drive around, oftentimes you can spot the rental property because it's not kept up very well. But I don't, in some communities, I think it's more prevalent than in others.
Yeah.
So I don't see a ton of it because I don't drive through all the different communities.
Okay, the non-HOA communities would have more rentals.
Yeah, I can see that.
Because if you're at HOA, you can mandate, no more than 10% or whatever.
Well, I just know how to fight.
Easier said than done, but that's.
Let's move into old business. Is there any old business tonight? Hearing none, we move to new business. Trustee Steve, you got one of these fine PowerPoint presentations.
I do.
Ready to roll.
We've been talking about putting up new entryway signage and I'm all for it. But old district philosophy that I know is, let's take care of what we know first before we put up new. And to me, I think the old shows have been neglected and developed up and down. It's just bad in my opinion. So I sort of want to bring this up. I know we've talked about this some in the past. I don't remember numbers. But give me the next slide, please.
I'm sorry.
So key points of this, I think, would be cost effective. It's simple and cost effective, I would think. I don't have numbers, and that's what we're going to be asking for. I know we thought about putting up new walls over top of that, and I think, to me, is immediate impact. It's something that I think we could do this year, the whole thing. And I think people see it, just like with the banners. Put banners up and all of a sudden, they're the greatest people, and I don't care how much you pay for them. They just like them, and they know we're doing something. And I think ease of means, as we go through this, I think we should be able to maintain it pretty easily. And we're going to put in the second proposal I have in here. We're talking about putting up some shrubbery that would grow into like a permanent wall type of thing. And they would just have to trim it. Next slide, please. So planning process, of course, the dream, design, complete. Next. So the dream is appearance. It's the gateway to Bloomingdale, as Bill shows. So we want to make sure, and going in hand with the new signage, I think as we approached this and as we went up Bloomingdale and did the cleanup and paint, etc., we get to a new entryway, guess what? We put up a new sign. So as you get down to the end of Bloomingdale, or I'm sorry, Bill shows, you've completed the whole thing. Maintenance, I think, the walls be easy to maintain. We'll have to talk to Rick about that. And the shrubbery, once you put that in. I know we talked about Bougainvillea. I just painted one a few months ago. It looks real good, but man, it's hard to manage. As far as cutting and trimming and making it look nice. Next. Here's the two phases. Phase one is, I put P3, prune. As you go up and down Bell Shoals, you see this overgrowth. And I don't think we cut any kind of tree all the way up, but I would trim the trees up where you can see the top of the fence. And anything on this side of Bell Shoals, there's all kind of straggly trees and whatever, just pull them on. I know there's a big tree across from Vernon. We keep that, but I think we just trim that up, right? This got a bunch of undergrowth around it. I think right at the Green Hollow entrance, there's some nice trees that are planted there, we're probably leave in. But for the rest of them, just go up and down, just pull them and trim it. And then you get into the paint phase where you'd have to prep and then paint the fence. The second phase of that would be plant, and I'll work with your green team on what kind of shrubs that they want to have. But imagine where enough space there, you could actually plant some shrubs on both sides, right? So I would say 3 feet apart, 3 feet from the wall, and that way they grow together, it's got enough room to get behind them if you have to do any kind of wall work, you know what I'm saying, to maintain that, so. Next. So here's some conceptual, complete phase one, that's the way all the walls would look. In phase two, as you see here, this is another community, but how they planted some shrubbery there, it's actually grown up to be a natural area. Next. So, pretty simple, cost-effective, immediate action, which I'll apply, and it should be easy maintenance. Next slide, please. So next step is for the slide files to come up with pricing and schedule type of thing, how much it'll be for us to discuss and look at. I don't think we talked about that in the past, I don't think I remember seeing these numbers.
Do we have irrigation?
Yeah.
No,
You don't have any irrigation anymore?
no, we do not. We don't have irrigation on both shores on either side.
So that would be a hurdle.
We've talked about that before, and that's always been the sticking point.
We had that. I remember they used to knock their heads off.
We had a price for that at one point. I
Yes.
can't remember, it's probably in the minutes, but I don't remember what it was, but remember, you've got 4 wells, one at each entry rate. So it makes it substantially easier than it may have been.
Right. Something to look at.
To run the drip.
Because all we have to do is, it's a straight line,
Yeah.
right down both sides.
It don't want to be that section where you'd be planting new shrubs. So it won't be like the whole college homes.
And then that other stuff is new walls, it's actually new walls.
No, that's all painted.
It's just
Correct.
stucco, that's the way they make
Yeah,
it.
actually, that wall there is on the green hollow.
Really?
The plain wall.
I mean, I like that.
They just
place.
finished it, yeah.
Did they stucco it like that? Is that what
That
they
is a
did?
new wall.
Huh.
Yeah. As long as I am, they repaired it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Then it went all the way down, but they had like a bunch of overgrowth. They stripped all that off and painted it. So it's real good.
And that would be probably more cost effective than the
Right.
manufactured
Well,
material
yeah,
that we
get
were
line
talking
and
about,
do it,
putting
and
over
that's-
that.
To me,
is
that's
pretty
down.
pricey.
We can still do that, that's like way down the road, I think.
If that's more cost effective in volume, not, you do one,
Right,
it's
it's
a
not-
lot. You do
You gotta do a lot.
half a mile, it's a lot less per
Gotcha.
unit.
Mhm.
So, next one.
Okay.
That's all I had, just want to put those thoughts down here, just to bring it up.
I like the idea. I would say let's do irrigation, get an irrigation estimate so we know what it's gonna cost. But as Rick points out, the fact that we've got wells in proximity makes it a lot easier to do.
Thanks, sir.
Questions for Rusty, comments?
The planting would be, for me, would be Glenhaven North on the wider part, is that what you're
Yeah,
saying?
correct, yeah. Wherever's wide enough, because part of that, yeah, I think, Glenhaven, because some of it's real small, you don't have a lot of way there, but once it gets out, it's pretty wide, it's pretty
Yeah.
like that, to make a natural barrier.
So is the Bloomingdale still in play here?
I would say, no.
No.
Not that you want to put it like on corners or something, I want to do the whole road, because they don't grow, I'm sort of a high square guy, you know, I like stuff trim, neat and square, so.
Well, the other issue with Bowman is the spikes.
Yeah, of course,
They're hard to make.
yeah.
Well, it's
They're
hopefully
beautiful,
Just
but
a
they-
mask, essentially mask the wall.
Yeah, it will cover the wall, but you have to trim that a lot more often than you do fig. And I mean, I like those really. I've got two, and I've got one I've got under control, the other one is in between.
You know, we can always look like, that one, this end and that end, back plant, boil medium, just give it some color, and then in between you got the green shrub.
Right, I think ultimately, if you can have shrubs versus the wall visible, that's a,
Yeah.
Well, that's the whole problem, yeah, eventually you're gonna have
yeah.
a natural barrier.
All right.
Nice.
Thanks, Rusty. Is there any other new business this evening? Okay, a reminder, check signing on the 26th, next meeting is on the 9th. Is there any other business to go off the board tonight? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion by trustee Schreier, second by trustee Record reflect the meeting adjourns at 7:30? Am I analog?
7:14.
No, I'm sorry, 7:16, 7:16.